eventful evening here in Chile. Just tell you about the team news. Well, Gustavo Quinteros did say that he wasn't planning on making too many changes to his side, and he hasn't. Just the one alteration from the team that did lose to Chile. Osvaldo Lastra drops out to the substitutes bench and is replaced in midfield by Pedro Quinones. The goal threat is obviously Enner Valencia, who has 11 international goals in just 20 appearances. Well, as for Bolivia, Mauricio Saraya also makes just the one change from the side that drew to Mexico in their opening match. Damian Lizio is the man that comes in, and he'll play just behind Marcelo Moreno up front. Jasmani Campos is the man to drop to the bench after he picked up a knock against Mexico. There were doubts surrounding the fitness of Marcelo Moreno, but he is fit enough to start. So it's Bolivia with an early free kick here, and he's tried to outfox the goalkeeper there, and it very nearly worked. And Alexander Dominguez was scrambling across his goal to try and divert it away. He's clearly expecting the ball to be played into the penalty area. Quite a clever free kick in the end. So they've got themselves a corner now, looking to force the pressure on Ecuador early on here. And the free kick goes the way of Ecuador, so pressure averted for the time being. Well, Ecuador desperately need to improve their recent form in the Copa America. They've now gone 10 matches in this competition without a victory, drawing one of those and losing the other 9. Let's go all the way back to July of 2001, 14 years ago, to find their last Copa America victory, which came in a 4-0 triumph over Venezuela. They just need something to change for them. They need to perhaps get an early goal here just to try and settle a few nerves and allow them to play with a little more freedom than they have done. And here is Valencia, the West Ham United man. Marshalled all the way, and in the end, ball is out for a throw into Bolivia. He showed glimpses this season for West Ham United of his talent, did Enner Valencia, but did only manage 4 Premier League goals. Did score one absolute beauty against Hull City from memory, but perhaps underachieved in his opening season. He was overshadowed by the likes of Diafra Sakho. But he is a talent, as I said. He's got a very good international goal-scoring record for Ecuador with 11 in 20. He'll certainly be looking towards Valencia if they're to try and get out of this slump that they find themselves in the Copa America. And after losing 2-0 to Chile, really is vital that they pick up all 3 points this evening. Otherwise they could be heading for an early exit. So another corner to Bolivia. There's a couple they've had in the opening couple of minutes. It's a decent delivery, free header, and Bolivia have taken the lead. Terrible defending by Ecuador, and they've started really well here of Bolivia, and it's Ronald Raldez who's got it. But Gustavo Quinteros will be furious with his defence. They were nowhere to be seen, and it was, in the end, the simplest of headers for the 34-year-old. And the goalkeeper had no chance at all. I think it was Fidel Martinez who was supposed to be marking him. Well, what a start for Bolivia. 34 years of age, he's playing in his 82nd appearance for Bolivia, and that's only his second goal. And he is the captain. He captained Bolivia during the 2007 Copa America. Still doing it 8 years later. They're not renowned for scoring goals, of Bolivia. They've only scored 5 in their last 8 Copa America matches and none in their last 3. Chance for Ecuador to try and respond immediately. Plenty of yellow shirts have gone forward for this free kick. Not a particularly good one, but they've got it back. Here's Paredes. Did well to dig out a cross as well. The header was won. It was a very difficult one by Elias. The other two teams in Group A, Chile and Mexico, they play in a couple of hours' time. No doubt keeping one eye on what's going on here. If Bolivia do win, it basically eliminates Ecuador from the competition after losing to Chile. Half cleared, and he's tried to get the shot in. There was just too many yellow shirts in front of him, and in the end the free kick's actually gone the way of Ecuador, but it's certainly Bolivia who have made the better start here. And it's going to be another free kick which they take quickly by Martinez, the man that actually lost Raldez for the goal. Gonna get lucky and get it back. Here's Jefferson Montero, who always looks so lively. Seen him a lot this season for Swansea City. He is a very, very tricky customer, is Jefferson Montero down that left-hand side. Here's Quinones, wants a corner, not sure he's got it though. Raldez, the goal scorer, was there carrying out his more familiar defensive duties. Here's the goal again. It was definitely Fidel Martinez that lost him. Deflection off a Bolivia player, so throwing goes the way of Ecuador. There's Montero. It's good work on the edge of the penalty area. He's tried to slip it through to Jefferson Montero. In the end, it's Martinez with the shot, trying to make up for his defensive error earlier on that led to the goal. Paredes. First time ball is a good one and looked like a push in the back. The linesman was perfectly placed and has allowed play to go on, I think. Certainly appeared that Villabayanos was pushed over there. Just kicked out of play to allow him to get some treatment here. It's Morales who has gone down. Just looks to be clutching his left leg there. He'll be okay. Zarazo. Nicely worked by Ecuador. This is what they need. They just need to try and get their foot on the ball for a couple of minutes here. Another theatrical fall by Bolaños. This time he has got the free kick. Perhaps he felt he had to fall that way because he didn't get an earlier decision. Paredes. Valencia's touch is a poor one. First time ball. Too many white shirts in support, but he's almost picked out his man, and that will be a corner if it goes. So Iovi was the man that was being put under pressure. The decision is a goal kick being given. He was fairly adamant that if it was going to go, it would be a corner. Should give us a better indication. I think it actually might have flicked off Iovi's right arm there. Give that handball, it was coming over his shoulder, he didn't know anything about it. Valencia with good pressure, charging down the goalkeeper. It's a lovely part of Chile, Valparaiso. It's about 70 miles northwest of the capital, Santiago. Very important seaport is Valparaiso. Paredes. Free kick awarded to Ecuador. It's climbing all over the back of Enner Valencia there. Here's Valencia. Chance to shoot Valencia. Oh, perhaps he should have shot earlier. just held on to it a little too long. And it looked as though the opportunity had arisen to shoot with his right foot. He then decided to cut back on his left foot, and by then it allowed a number of white shirts to get in the way of the ball. The chance fell to the right man if you're an Ecuador supporter. You've got to go back 14 years to find Ecuador's last victory in a Copa America match, but although they did lose their opening game against Chile, Ecuador could still take some encouragement from that match, I suppose. I mean, 67th minute penalty put an end to their resistance, and things could have been oh so different had Enner Valencia's header found the back of the net instead of cannoning off the crossbar just a couple of minutes after that goal. You'd argue that having played Chile, they've already played the toughest team in their group, with Bolivia and Mexico still to come. Just a nightmare start here this evening. Here's Martinez looking to try and get Valencia away. The goalkeeper came and, well, the ball isn't particularly skidding on. And I think the goalkeeper was a little nervy when the ball was played over the top. And it just kind of holds up when it comes off the turf. And it very nearly allowed Enner Valencia to steal the ball. And I think the goalkeeper is play acting a little bit there. Don't actually think Valencia touched him. They've responded relatively well since falling behind. Seeing a little more of the ball. Trying to get Valencia as much of that ball as they possibly can. Doesn't want to be messing around with it there. Here's a chance for Bolivia now. Beautiful layoff as well. The shot comes in. They've got a second. It's Smedberg Dalens who's got it. And Ecuador are shell-shocked in Chile. There was a defensive error again that allowed Bolivia the ball back. But they still had an awful amount of work to do. But what is he doing messing around with the ball there? Moreno Martins picked it out and just put the ball to Smedberg Dalens, who, as I said, still had a lot to do from 20 yards out, but finished emphatically past the goalkeeper. And I'm not sure anyone would have predicted this scoreline just over quarter of an hour in. It's Ecuador 0, Bolivia 2. Fantastic finish by Smedberg Dalens. He was born in Sweden, gained Bolivian nationality. Still plies his trade in Sweden for IFK Göteborg. There is a long way back now for Gustavo Quinteros' side. It's a bit of a cliche, but you just sense that the next goal in this game could be vitally important. If Bolivia get it, you'd say that it's probably game over. Well, Jefferson Montero started this evening wearing gloves, believe it or not. It's about 20 degrees in Chile tonight. And perhaps unsurprisingly, Jefferson Montero has decided it's probably a little too warm to be wearing them and has taken them off. Valencia. Again, the ball just got away from him slightly. Zarazo. It's nicely worked. Again, Valencia's touch just lets him down, although a little fortunate to get the ball back. Thought about the shot, instead played it over the top. Goalkeepers come out and miss the ball, but in the end, they are able to clear their lines. To try and pull the trigger, do Ecuador. It's a couple of times now that they've found themselves in good positions and perhaps tried to be just a little bit too clever. A bit of space for him to run into here. There's the first time ball to Valencia. Now he needs some support inside the penalty area. They're coming together. I think the referee has decided it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other there. And there's play to go on. Ball out to the left-hand side, and an even better challenge, although Ecuador have got it back. Here's a chance. Try just to squeeze a little through ball through to one of his teammates. You saw a magnificent through ball played by Neymar for Brazil's winning goal in their opening Copa America match. Stole the show a bit, Neymar, in that match. Space here if he turns and plays the ball in. It was a really good delivery as well. Martinez with the shot, and Jefferson Montero throws his arms in the air. He was a little frustrated that the ball wasn't played out to the left-hand side where Montero was in plenty of space. They come forward again. Decent delivery into the penalty area. Comes to Paredes. Paredes gets the shot away. Too many white shirts in the way. Good spell of momentum this, though. Bolivia can clear their lines. Quinones knocks it down the right-hand side. No Paredes. Just trying to patiently build up here, trying to find a way through this white brick wall that's assembled. Lovely ball to Valencia. Well, it was a slightly reckless challenge there. And I just thought for a second Valencia was going to go down, and the referee would have had a fairly serious decision to make there. Joel Aguilar. They've got themselves a corner. Lovely first touch by Montero, but Bolivia do well to win the ball back. They've certainly defended set pieces better than Ecuador have, that is for sure. It's a lovely ball, oh, and if his first touch was better, he would have been in one-on-one there, Bolaños, but they still got the ball. Back to Paredes. Needs Bolaños to get back on side, which he is. Paredes went down. Quinones with the ball. Good hands by the man with the same name, Quinones, in the Bolivian goal. When you consider that Bolivia now without a victory in their last 17 games in the Copa America since finishing as runners-up back on home soil in 1997. 9 defeats and 8 draws since then. This kind of puts into context the start that they've made here. I said I don't think anyone was expecting it, I really don't. Ecuador haven't been in great form themselves, but they were certainly favourites coming into this game. Pressure by Moreno Martins. There was a doubt coming into this game. We're delighted that he did pass a fitness test. The man that didn't know is Jasmani Campos, who is on the substitutes bench. Took a knock in their opening match against Mexico. Did Campos. Actually had to be substituted about 20 minutes from time. He's going to get on the end of this and just need some support now. Just trying to hold the ball up. He looks at the referee as if to say surely that's a free kick, but didn't look too much wrong with it. We're looking for Valencia. Valencia, wonderful save. A vital touch by Quinones in the Bolivian goal. Just a long ball forward to Enner Valencia, whose pace and strength allowed him to get on the end of it. It may not have been going in, but the goalkeeper didn't know that. But more encouragement for Ecuador. I'm sure they know that they are definitely not out of this game just yet. Lovely touch around the corner, but I think it struck the hand of Enner Valencia. Free kick goes the way of Bolivia. one yellow shirt inside the penalty area at the moment. So he's tried to find Martinez, who actually won the header. And look how many white shirts are behind the ball, though. Very, very difficult to try and get behind this Bolivian defence. Ball slid through, here's Paredes, just forced a little wide. Paredes, in comes the delivery again. We've still got the ball of Ecuador. Now can he provide the cross? He can! It's a wonderful save by Quinones. And it's just not going in for Ecuador. Well, Noboa cannot believe that he hasn't got a goal back for the Ecuadorians there. They've got themselves a corner though. Footed in swinger, not a particularly good ball, but they're going to have another go at it. Fantastic match so far, this. And this time it was Bolivia to commit a fairly poor defensive error. The only difference being they got away with it. Ecuador didn't. Really good save though by Quinones, who's been called upon a couple of times now. Every time he's had the answer. They come again. Valencia, just a little too much on the pass. Fidel Martinez just couldn't get on the end of it. And I'm sure he'll be a little more pleased with what he's seeing now. Gustavo Quinteros, who is Bolivian himself, the Ecuadorian manager. He actually played for Bolivia. 26 appearances with 1 goal, and then was in charge of Bolivia for a couple of years as well, from 2010 to 2012. He then went to Emelec for a couple of years in Ecuador before actually taking over the national job in March of this year. Must be a little odd for him, going up against Bolivia rather than playing for them or managing them. Pace, he's going to get in there, Jefferson Montero, and the last touch was off a Bolivian player, so the corner's awarded. Footed outswingers. Delivery hasn't been particularly good so far. He's struggling to actually beat the first man. And now they're under pressure down the other end, and Paredes did well. Here's Valencia dancing his way through. In the end, it's a good challenge to dispossess him. A delivery, it's too close to the goalkeeper though. And I think the referee's awarded a penalty here. Well, we didn't see, but presumably he has done. Yellow card given. It's Edward Centeno who's picked up the yellow card, and it did just look as though there was a little trip, I think, on Enner Valencia. And what a chance this is for Ecuador to get back in the game. It looked fairly innocuous, it's got to be said. And you can tell by the absolute outrage and frustration from the Bolivian players that they are furious with the decision. Let's have another look here. Well, he just pulled back Enner Valencia, didn't he? It did look a little harsh, but the referee was perfectly placed. The man from El Salvador. I mean, it's fairly stupid from the defender anyway. The ball was always the goalkeeper's there. And he's just given Ecuador a brilliant opportunity to try and get one back. I cannot believe it. And here we go then. Sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, and Enner Valencia gets one back. Or does he? I think he may have to take this again, Enner Valencia. There may well have been some encroachment in the 18-yard box before he'd hit it. Again, I think that's a little harsh. He was only just in, so it's Valencia again. Oh, and this time it's saved. Can you believe it? Well, when it's not your day, it just isn't your day. Scores the first penalty, has to retake it, and Quinones goes the right way. Well, things just go from bad to worse for Ecuador. What a chance to get back in the game. He decided to go the opposite corner to his first penalty, did Valencia. And Quinones guessed the right way. Really wasn't a good penalty, that one, compared to his one that was disallowed, that was right in the corner. That was a fairly tame effort by Enner Valencia. Pretty central, and the goalkeeper just made a fairly comfortable save in the end. It is difficult though when you've just taken one and scored. You've then got to try and compose yourself again. You've then got to think, do I go the same way? What way's the goalkeeper going to go now? And in the end it was Quinones in the Bolivian goal that won the battle. Well, it's been an extraordinary first half so far. But a first half in which Bolivia will be absolutely delighted with. That man on your screen gave them the lead fairly early on as well. Completely free header from a corner. The Bolivian captain was there to head the ball past the goalkeeper after just 5 minutes. Well, this is the second penalty. As you can see, no encroachment whatsoever there. And then doubled their lead on 18 minutes. And Martin Smedberg Dalens finished really well from 20 yards out or so after being fed the pass from Marcelo Moreno Martins. And then just a couple of minutes ago, Enner Valencia scoring a first penalty, having to retake it and missing the second. Chance to get the ball into the penalty area again. They certainly aren't committing as many numbers forward now. Only 4 white shirts went forward for that one. They're more than happy with their 2-0 lead. Alonso's foot was high, and he's given another penalty, the referee. Well, this is extraordinary. It's a yellow card to Arazo, I think. He stayed down. Obviously, Arazo's boot caught him in the face. Well, what an amazing first half here in the Copa America. Doesn't look particularly good there. He is moving a little bit, but laid out on the ground. Hopefully he'll be okay. Arazo is there looking over him. Good news is he's got to his feet. Let's have another look at this. Well, it's a difficult one for the referee. I mean, technically his foot was high, but I don't think you can say that there was any intent whatsoever in injuring his opponent. Damian Lizio went down, and the referee, not for the first time today, has awarded a somewhat controversial penalty. And you'd say that if this goes in, it's game over. Just a couple of minutes after Ecuador missed from the penalty spot, Bolivia have the chance to go 3-0 up before half-time. This coming from a side that hasn't scored in any of their last 3 Copa America games. But it's going to be Marcelo Moreno Martins, still wearing gloves. He comes and he scores. Emphatic penalty by Martins Moreno. And incredibly, Bolivia lead by 3-0. The celebration to match. And the man that plies his trade in the Chinese Super League is doing it on the South American continent tonight. It was a good penalty. Was there any encroachment this time? No, there wasn't. The referee was happy with it. Goalkeeper went the right way. Maybe a little disappointed that he didn't get his hand on it. But you'd say that this game is done. That penalty miss from Enner Valencia now looking even more crucial. By Fidel Martinez. They just need to try and find one before half-time, just to try and give them a little bit of confidence. Here's Paredes, Martinez, good ball. Here is a chance, Bolaños, terrible cross from Bolaños. They get away with it and they're going to have a corner. To take the corner short. Terror with the delivery. Good punch from the goalkeeper. I think you'll find less and less white shirts going forward as this game goes on. Absolutely no need for them to do anything silly at all now, Bolivia. They have a massive advantage in this game. The kick again goes the way of Ecuador. He's not backwards in coming forwards in showing yellow cards, the referee. Didn't seem to be a great amount in that, but straight over with the yellow card. I mean, if the referee's going to hand out yellow cards for that, we're going to see 4 or 5 red cards a game. Here comes the delivery. Only as far as Paredes, who knocks it back in. Bolivia are able to clear their lines. Down right on the edge of the penalty area. This time the referee allows play to go on, and in fact the free kick goes Bolivia's way a couple of seconds later, just to frustrate Ecuador even more. Sarah wins the free kick. And here's a chance, Paredes, can he find the ball? And he's found Valencia. Able to clear their lines only just, and the shot comes in from a long way out. Quinones didn't get anything behind it, and it's danger averted for Bolivia. Ball on to Marcelo Moreno. I think now is the only player on the pitch to be wearing gloves. Well, and there goes the half-time whistle in an extraordinary 45 minutes in this Copa America match, in which it has all gone Bolivia's way. They took the lead after just 5 minutes when Ronald Raldez headed home from a corner. Smedberg Dalens made it 2-0 10 minutes later. Then Ecuador had the chance to get back in the game. Enner Valencia took a penalty, scored it, had to retake it and missed the retake. And then right before half-time, Marcelo Moreno did what Valencia couldn't and scored a penalty. So at the break, it is Ecuador 0, Bolivia 3. Well, welcome back, everybody, to the Estadio Elias Figueroa Branda here in Valparaiso in Chile. And if you missed the opening 45 minutes, it was quite extraordinary half in which we saw 3 goals, a couple of penalties, one in which Enner Valencia actually scored his penalty, then had to retake it, and his retaken penalty was saved. But quite unbelievably, perhaps, at the break, it is Ecuador 0, Bolivia 3. Sure anyone would have predicted that scoreline. Bolivian side that haven't won a game in the Copa America since 1997, in which they finished runner-up. And it was actually hosted in Bolivia. What a chance. Fantastic save from the goalkeeper. It was certainly heading in that top right-hand corner. Fantastic save. And it's a corner to Ecuador, who know that they simply have to start brightly if they're to get anything out of this game whatsoever. I suppose the way they've got to look at it is, if Bolivia managed to score 3 goals in 45 minutes, there's certainly no reason why Ecuador can't. Montero loses out. Here's Valencia. Loses the ball, Enner Valencia. He's always just got so many white shirts in front of him. Goes down Valencia, but does well to keep hold of the ball. Montero. Jefferson Montero inside the penalty area. It's wonderful from Jefferson Montero. And Ecuador have got a goal back, and it's Enner Valencia who scored it. But Jefferson Montero deserves so much credit for the way in which he just danced his way through. And he then had the whereabouts to pick out Enner Valencia. He realised that he would have had an open goal, but so many players in his position would have gone for goal himself, but not Jefferson Montero. So unselfish, and Ecuador are right back in it. Exactly the start they needed in this second half. Well, will that just affect the nerves a little bit of the Bolivian players? Nicely done by Bolaños, who was clipped, and it is going to be a free kick, which they take quickly. Jefferson Montero again, he's got the pace, and we've just seen he's got the end product as well. Montero goes down on the edge of the penalty area, not given by the referee. Paredes. Flicked on nicely, and there's a bit of space here. They have made a couple of substitutions, Ecuador, in this second half. They've got a corner. One of those substitutions is going to take it. It's Juan Cazares who's come on in place of Quinones, and Fidel Martinez has also been replaced by Renato Ibarra. Same 11 for Bolivia that played the first half. Good build-up play by Bolivia though. And Ecuador have been awarded the free kick. Again, looked a little soft. Both penalty decisions in the opening 45 minutes were a little contentious. Montero. Always looking to try and do something, Jefferson Montero, when he gets it. Such a direct player. He's running at his man and looking to take people on.
Todo full, saca amarilla, todo full. Están contando todo.
Big crossfield ball looking for Jefferson Montero. Well, he might be quick, but he's Not that quick.
Juan.
All of a sudden, he's just a little more nervy. Sure, he just said in his half-time team talk, a little more of the same, but perhaps with slightly less ambition. The goal scorer Valencia just got the ball stuck in his feet. Had a great first half out of Valencia. His first touch just deserted him quite a bit. He obviously missed that penalty as well, so he'll be pleased that at least he's on the goals scoring charts. That tap-in provided by Jefferson Montero. And they've got a free kick in a dangerous position here. Sorting things out. It's going to be Iovi with the free kick, decides to change it up a little. It's a fantastic defensive block, but Ecuador have got it back. And, the player that blocked it is still down. He may well be winded because Bolaños certainly got hold of his strike. It's Morales who's down. It's also Hurtado that's down, so they've got two players on the floor injured at the moment of Bolivia. Fortuitous how it's fallen here, but here they come again, Ecuador. They've got themselves a corner. It's always a risk when sides just sit back and allow and invite pressure onto themselves, and that's what Bolivia are doing at the moment, and Ecuador are just building up ahead of steam. Another strike comes in. Trying to find Montero. Done well there. I think it's a corner. Well, the linesman's given a goal kick. It certainly looked as though it came off the Bolivian player last. Goal kick is given. We're going to see a substitution here, are we? This was the goal again. Pedriela's gone off and is replaced by Coimbra. Just going to be attack after attack in this second half for Ecuador. Ball out to the left-hand side, but Paredes is back there carrying out his defensive duties and does well. To find a gap, but just look how many white shirts are parked on the edge of that 18-yard box. Not going to be easy this for Ecuador. Valencia gets it back, end of Valencia. Throwing balls into the box, even though there's plenty of yellow shirts just waiting for the ball. Problem is now when they lose it, because Bolivia can break and there's not too many Ecuador players back there, and they were a little fortunate that the pass wasn't a particularly good one. His header on was a very good one. Well, just to position his body in the way to get away from him. Now Montero sometimes just tries to do a little too much, Jefferson Montero. Just missed out on advancing through to the next stage of last year's World Cup. A relatively tricky group with France and Switzerland in it, as well as Honduras. They beat Honduras and managed to draw to France as well in their last group game, but they lost to Switzerland, so the French and the Swiss advanced. Ecuador finishing in third position. Pressure by Bolivia, just forcing Ecuador back. It's Noboa. Valencia wants it played through, and Valencia gets there as well. The goalkeeper came out, just had to be careful of his footing, and the ball was looking for Jefferson Montero. He was arriving at the far post, but it was just a little too high for him. Good build-up play nonetheless by Ecuador. Bolaños. To find Paredes, who was making a forward run from the right-hand side. Find Paredes again, but there's a Bolivian player there ahead of him. Just a reminder that in just over an hour's time, the other two sides in Group A undergo their second match of the tournament. The host Chile taking on Mexico. Chile, of course, beating Ecuador by 2-0 in their opening game. Mexico drawing 0-0 to Bolivia. That's Valencia. Montero. Now Iovi. Possession here, Ecuador. It's so difficult to try and break them down. For Montero. Montero, he's often quite predictable. He always just tries to skip down the outside of his marker and get the ball in his left foot. He's onside here, inside the penalty area. What a chance for two, and once again Quinones is there. Well, that was a huge moment in this match. It was the substitute Renato Ibarra. I think everyone was expecting the offside flag to go up because Enner Valencia was offside. They didn't see the run of Ibarra, and he's just hit it straight at the goalkeeper. Big opportunity there to get right back in this game. Come again. It's fairly relentless at the moment. Delivery goes for something fairly elaborate. And they get the shot on Montero. Cleared away for a corner. This team is building. It's good to see a competitive game. Look as though we may have what is he doing? Just a big mix-up there. It's Bolaños. Who had that fantastic opportunity just a second ago to get a second back for Ecuador. There's a chance again. Well, he's on target, but at the pace required. Boa with the effort. Jimenez was there once again. Important thing for Ecuador here is just not to panic, because they are creating chances. I'm sure they'll continue to do so for the final 20 minutes or so in this second half. What they don't want to do is just start lumping the ball forward aimlessly. They just need to keep playing the way that they're playing. Just hope that when a chance does come to them, they'll put it away. goalkeeper's just beginning to frustrate the Ecuador fans. Seems to be time wasting at every single possibility at the moment. They come again. Good strength to win the ball back. Here's Montero inside the penalty area. He couldn't find his man this time, and in the end Bolivia have actually been awarded the free kick. Valencia went flying over, and when I saw the referee put his whistle to his mouth, I was half expecting him to point to the penalty spot again. Trying to pick out Valencia again. Not quite sure how that's a free kick to Bolivia there. Valencia can count himself incredibly unlucky. Naboa. Free kick goes the way of Ecuador. They've taken it quickly. Not quite what he intended, Montero, but it's worked out for him. Not for the first time, just too many white shirts surrounding the ball. Lovely ball looking for Paredes. The goalkeeper made a decision to come out, and it was a good one. Group games will be played at the end of the week. Mexico against Ecuador will be on Friday, and Chile against Bolivia will be a couple of hours afterwards. So Bolivia are going to make their first change. Bejarano is the man coming on, and Damian Lizio the man going off. He was the player that was involved in the penalty. Football by Ecuador, and they're looking to try and get Iovi in. Almost found it. Paredes. Oh, he's gone for goal, and it was a really clever effort which had Quinones scrambling backwards. I thought at first it was just a pass gone wrong there, but it was actually a shot, and he very nearly caught the goalkeeper out there. A yard or so wide. As well, he had the humour just to try and laugh that off, but it would have been fairly embarrassing if that had found the back of the net. It's a good ball forward, central once again, and fantastic defensive block, which they've been doing all game, really. Here's Paredes. Now Paredes is accused of fouling. And yet another attack comes to nothing. Just thought when they scored so early on in the second half that the second goal may follow relatively soon after. But it's not been the case. Bolivia have held firm. They've been incredibly resilient. They've thrown bodies in the way. Just made it very, very difficult for Ecuador to try and break them down. Just anywhere will do at the moment for Bolivia. They have no interest in keeping the ball. All they're interested in doing is getting the ball as far away from their own goal as possible. Here they come again. Goes down, and that is a free kick, so good opportunity here. Only criticism really is that perhaps it's a little too central. It was Ibarra again, who's had quite a good impact since coming on in this second half. Had that glorious opportunity when he went one-on-one with the goalkeeper. There's no shortage in suitors for this free kick. And well, it pretty much sums up his game, Enner Valencia. Not a lot has gone right for him. Jefferson Montero. Oh, the offside flag's gone up, and another attack fizzles out for Ecuador. Once again, the goalkeeper will just try and tick down a few more seconds. If scores did stay the same, it really would put Bolivia in pole position to advance through to the next stage. And you'd probably say when the groups were released that Bolivia were almost the favourites not to go through. Certainly put Ecuador and Chile ahead of them, possibly Mexico as well. Had so much of the ball in the second half of Ecuador, but haven't really tested the goalkeeper enough. They had that early goal, of course, but other than that, can only really call upon that glorious one-on-one opportunity that Ibarra had, which he just shot straight at the goalkeeper. Credit must go to Bolivia because they've defended magnificently at times, unlike Ecuador in the first half, in which they just gifted Bolivia a couple of goals. First two especially. The goal from the corner, Fidel Martinez just completely switched off and allowed Raldez a free header. And then the Smedberg-Dalents goal also came from a defensive error, giving the ball away. Valencia was interviewed before the match started, and he actually made a point of saying they need to cut out those individual errors. Unfortunately, his team obviously weren't listening. Got a free kick here. Very blatant obstruction. To make one of these count. The cavalry arrives. Good delivery, but once again it's a white shirt that's there. First Ibarra goes for goal, and it wasn't far away. Quinones was leaping across his goal just in case it was arrowing towards that top corner. Bolivia will be too upset if that's what they're limiting Ecuador to, volleys from 30 yards out. There's a bit of space here. He's allowed to turn. Bolaños goes for goal, and what a goal! Bolaños, the goal scorer, and what a climax to this game we're going to have. 3-0 down. It's now 3-2. It's Miller Bolaños who scored it. Fantastic effort. He's been superb domestically this season for Emelec. He's got 10 in 15 for them. Struck it well. It was the dip on the ball that did for the goalkeeper. And what an ending to this match we're going to have. It's taken something like that, something as special as that, to get this second goal. Because Bolivia have just defended magnificently. A comeback this would be. It certainly got the crowd going. A tremendous match from start to now, really. It's Montero. Montero into the penalty area, goes down. The referee was perfectly placed and allowed play to go on. Just cannot keep the ball at the moment, Bolivia. As soon as they get it, Ecuador are right on top of them again. Bolaños, the goal scorer. space for him to turn into. Now he needs some support, which he gets. Razo plays it on. Patient build-up play once again from Ecuador. There's a Chile. Good turn by Noboa. Lovely ball out to the right-hand side if he can keep it in, which he does just about. Bolaños. And he gets it back as well. Paredes with the delivery. Only half clear. Here's Ibarra. Cross comes in from the right-hand side, well dealt with though. And Bolivia get it back and are able to clear their lines. Although it's just straight back to the Ecuadorian side. He's gone for goal again! Oh, it's off the crossbar! What a strike! Inches away from levelling this game up. What an incredible match. They're not going to give up. They will keep coming forward. Here's Noboa. Lovely ball to Montero. He's onside as well. Bolaños goes for goal. Perhaps a little carried away by his strike earlier on. So close. So arguably have been better than the second goal. Struck it beautifully. And the goalkeeper probably thought he was beaten again. Did he just get a fingertip to it? So Angulo comes on. Gone off, Angulo on. Ovi heads it forward. Here's Valencia. His layoff is a poor one. Actually hit the back of his head and bringing it straight back to Ecuador. And the last touch was off Bolivia. Corner kick to Ecuador. We will say deserve a draw here. Gets the shot away. Oh, it's a brilliant save. Fantastic save from Quinones. It looked as though it was bending in that top right-hand corner. And that is a magnificent save. Miranda is going to come on for Bolivia. As Quinones, the goalkeeper, has gone down again. Here comes the corner. Good defensive header away. Oh, how close have Ecuador come? Strike from Noboa that hit the bar. And then a magnificent save from Quinones to deny Cazares. You just sense that there's more drama to come here. Miranda is still waiting to come on. Wait and see who he's going to come on for. I think it's the goal scorer, Marcelo Moreno Martins, who scored the penalty right on the stroke of half-time. Job done for him. Now it's simply a case of trying to defend their lead. The mood that Ecuador are in at the moment suggests that it's not going to be particularly easy to do that. It's Cazares. Goes down on the edge of the penalty area. The free kick actually goes the way of Bolivia. Gives the thumbs up to the referee. This was the strike. The dip that he managed to get on the ball. Is it all going to be in vain? They have a couple of minutes remaining. Probably the longest that Bolivia have had the ball in the entire second half. Defended so deep, just invited pressure onto themselves. Get Jefferson Montero away down this left-hand side. Valencia thought he was fouled, but the referee allows play to go on. Here's Iovi. We're going to have 4 minutes of injury time to go. 4 minutes for Ecuador to try and find an equaliser. Free kick goes the way of Bolivia. Once again, it just allows them to tick down a couple more seconds here. Just pulled him down. Oh, have they left it too late, Ecuador? If nothing else, it's been a magnificent advert for the Copa America. It's been richly entertaining. Two sides were actually involved in the highest scoring draw in the Copa America in 1963. It finished Ecuador 4, Bolivia 4. Are we going to see a 3-3? We've got a couple of minutes left for that to happen. Naboa, lovely little dummy. Cathares goes for goal. That really was a fairly comfortable save for the goalkeeper in comparison to some of the other strikes that have come his way. Perhaps it would have been better just to continue that attack. Averaged the lowest possession in Group A opening games. They had just 33% possession against Chile. They've had almost 90% possession in the second half, you'd say. It has been complete and utter domination. And yet they still find themselves behind. Urged forward by their fans. Here's Angulo, the substitute. He's dispossessed and he manages to keep it in. And there goes the full-time whistle. And just look how much it means to Mauricio Soraya and his Bolivian side. It has been a magnificent game of football in this Copa America, in which Bolivia took the lead after just 5 minutes when Ronald Raldez was able to head the ball home completely unmarked from a corner. They soon had a second when they pounced on a defensive error from Ecuador again. This time it was Smedberg Dalens who fired the ball home from 20 yards. Ecuador had a magnificent chance to get back into the game when Enner Valencia had a penalty. He scored the first one. He was then ordered to retake it, and he then missed the retaken penalty. And just to rub salt into their wounds, Bolivia were then awarded a penalty right on the stroke of half-time, in which Marcelo Moreno Martin scored. The second half was a different story. Valencia scored a couple of minutes in, and when Bolaños scored with 10 minutes to go, it looked as though Ecuador may get something out of the game, but it was not to be. Bolivia defended resiliently, and Ecuador just couldn't find that equalising goal. It essentially eliminates Ecuador from the competition. Bolivia move on to 4 points after their opening draw against Mexico. A superb game.